Good morning and good afternoon, everybody. Thank you all for joining our first webinar here in Laqtia. We are very happy that you have responded to our call, and we hope you find this webinar interesting and useful for you and your businesses. This presentation will be carried out by Javier Arquerón. He is the CEO of Alliance Vending and, at the same time, Vice President of the European Vending Association. Alliance Vending is the second largest vending operator in Spain, and they manage today more than 14,000 freestanding vending machines. He will do the presentation, and after his presentation, we will open a period of questions and answers. Once this period begins, we ask you to write your questions and comments in the chat, and then I will read them for Javier to respond. So at this moment, I ask you to please remain with your microphone in mute during the presentation and wait for the Q&A period to write your questions in the chat. So without further ado, I give the floor to Javier.
Thanks, Alfonso, for your kind presentation. Good afternoon from Barcelona to all of you who participate in this webinar of Laqtia. First of all, I hope that all the participants are well, and please keep in mind that it's my first webinar as a speaker and in English, so please keep calm. I want to thank Alfonso, who has asked me for my point of view of what will happen in the vending industry after the COVID-19 crisis. I do not have a crystal ball, but I will try to explain how I see it from my position as CEO of Alliance Vending and also first Vice President of the European Vending Association. I think the only positive thing we can thank for this serious crisis of the COVID is that it has forced us to embrace new technologies. Believe me when I tell you that in 2 weeks, I have participated in more video conferences than in my entire working life. This crisis is also teaching us how important it's to learn from each other. I'm going to structure this video conference in 4 sections: pre-COVID situation, vending on the front line, and now what will happen, what can we do, and a final reflection. About pre-COVID-19, no one was prepared to face a situation like this. We had all made short, medium, and long-term plans on a personal and company level. And in a few days, everything changed due to the coronavirus. There were solid companies with capacity to generate value and others with many problems. The COVID crisis is going to show which were the most economically solid companies, and these companies are the ones that are in a tunnel, but the light is already beginning to see. But there are no miracles for those companies that had solvency problems prior to the crisis, and that this new situation will affect them much more severely. This type of companies are in a water crisis, perhaps with water. I consider that it's possible goes out of the tunnel. It will be very difficult to get out of the water. I have a slide. Okay. So, vending on the first line. In Spain and in almost all the countries I know, vending has been considered as essential service, and we should be proud of this. This should allow us to put it in value and be able to negotiate with the institutions and authorities so that they value us more and help us for a faster recovery of our industry. We have been up to the task of providing our services in hospitals, police departments, ambulance companies, etc., being in many cases the only option to drink a coffee, drink a water, or eat a sandwich. And many consumers have thanked us for that. We have been and we are a safe channel, and we must insist on this point, since the consumer now rewards security. And now what will happen? We are completely lost. What's going to happen from now on? Nothing will be the same. As I said at the beginning, weeks before the COVID, we all had short, medium, and long-term plans. These plans have radically changed because of the COVID. All companies talk about 2020 goal, and unfortunately, we are really going to remember 2020. Just imagine if this lockdown happened 18 years ago with Nokia 3310, that it was a lovely mobile, but it was not a smartphone. but probably we will wear more relaxed. Very much to do is analyze our companies. We need the digitalization of our companies. We have to change our way of thinking. Be more creative. Imagine, for example, that our clients contract us through the website. No need to have a commercial people. Why not? In other services, such as mobile companies, it has already been done for a long time. I give you an example that we have learned in our company during the lockdown. Contract signed digitally. I know it seems obvious, but before the COVID crisis, we worked on that way. Our organization physically prepared the contract. The contract was signed by our director, our sales director. Our commercial took the contract to the client. Probably the client, until 2 or 3 weeks, didn't call us to go and pick up the contract. This was a waste of time. Currently, the contract is prepared. We sent an email to our director, electronically validated by our director. The client received the contract by email in a few seconds. And when the contract is digitally signed by the client, a copy is filed in the CRM of our company. We save time and money, and it has more security than before. About management by telemetry, we must continue betting on the connectivity of the machines to offer service with greater added value. Mobile apps. We have taken advantage of the lockdown to perfect our Alliance Vending app. We want to add value through the app that is capable of making discounts, product promotions, making product returns, surveys, reporting news, and even paying. We need to get the data of our consumers. Change the slide, please, Alfonso. With digitalization, we must be able to simplify. Oh no, it's the previous one. Exactly, this one, please. Thanks a lot. With digitalization, we must be able to simplify many processes and save money. Finance are and will be critical, should have even more prominence in our companies, but without losing the perspective that without sales, there is nothing to manage. Cash is the king, but having cash and not investing, it's useless. The important thing is to know how to invest well and not rush the money. During these months, I have received more than 50 emails daily with investment proposals such as PPIs vending machines, selling hydrogel, temperature scanners, separator panels between vending machines, etc. Open to new investment opportunities, yes, but we must analyze them very well. For example, PPIs vending machines. From my point of view, it's an opportunity in the short term, but if we know how to focus it, may well be an opportunity to open different new service opportunities from vending. For example, telemetry services through our vending machines. Remember that it's important to recover the investment in a short period of time because of technology. New opportunities open up, but we must be very cautious in which investment we must carry out with a short, medium-term vision without sacrificing the long term. As an example, we have installed 10 vending machines in the principal metro stations in Madrid. We installed it temporarily, and it was like a test. These are machines that we already had in our warehouse, so we didn't invest on that. Snack machines that converted to PPIs vending machines. At first, the sold was very well, but these last days, they are selling very little. And our prices are very competitive. We have a low price in these products, but consumers now buy these products in supermarkets. It was just during 1 month. In my personal opinion, PPIs can complement the assortment of the snack vending machine, but not machines dedicated 100% to this type of product. You must know increase of payment through credit card. Although coins and bills are just as safe as paying by credit card, we have seen that consumers prefer to be able to pay by credit card. For this reason, we have expanded the investment in this payment method, but taking into account that there is an extra cost for connectivity and bank fees, commissions. But we're going to go from having this payment system in 21% of our vending machines to 50%. So we will increase really a lot. Actually, we have 14,000 freestanding vending machines and 3,000 bank card payment system. Our strategy is to have 7,000 credit card payment system connected in 20 months. We cannot lose sales. We advance in the total connectivity of our vending machines. Now we have 50% of our vending machines connected, so 7,000. And the goal is to have 100% in less than 3 years. It has a cost, but it adds value to our consumers. We must continue putting the focus on the consumer. There's a change in consumer priorities, and I'm not saying it. Nielsen says it. You know Nielsen, it's the most important consultant firm in food. And wow, I don't remember the word. With a lot of economic uncertainty, the consumer wants us to help him with offers and promotions. With the technology, now it's possible. The consumer will be more concerned about their health. They will take more care of their diet. They will seek quality at a reasonable price. This is where Laqtia comes in. Laqtia high quality products. It's a free advertisement, Alfonso. We must be able to analyze what we are selling now and what we will end up selling. One possible question is, will the chocolate bars disappear from the vending machines? My answer is no, but they should live with healthier products. We must be vigilant to the new demands of consumers, both in products and packaging. We simply must be vigilant to the changes that are going to take place. Be very clear that the post-COVID consumer wants to contract with companies that comply with the 4S: solidarity, sustainability, solvency, and security. Donations to food banks and NGOs, there are many people who have a hard time, and vending companies must be there. Personally, I consider that putting coffee machines for selling free is not a solution, since there is no value to the vending service. It's better give products for free to social organizations, and a good example are food banks. I think Laqtia was working on that way a few weeks ago. About sustainability, single-use cups have been one of the keys to provide greater security, as have bottled water. I want to add that during the crisis, it was shown that the problem of environment sustainability was not of materials such as plastic. The problem is the education and the use that was given to it. An example, masks and gloves are on the floors of the streets. I put some pictures from Spain. I repeat, I think that the problem is not the material. The problem is the education of the people. About solvency, our companies must be economically solvent and must be a prestigious brand. We need a nice and potent brand of our companies. This information is looking by customers on social media and websites. We must have a website that attracts the consumer with solvent and reliable information, and we must be present in social media in the right way. Security, it's an important word. We must continue to show that vending is safe. I repeat, vending is safe, very safe. And one way to do this is providing information to customers and consumers about our security plans. I want to highlight that it will be essential to provide security and trust to our clients. We must stage clean machines, inform the consumer, mark waiting areas, etc. How can we generate security and trust for the clients and consumers? We have done different action in Alliance Vending. Signaling waiting areas to access, there you have some pictures. Signaling waiting areas to access to the vending machines. Signs indicating hygiene measures and our cleaning and safety protocols. Identify our staff to respect the distance between 1.5 meters or 2 meters. But what we have not done, separate the vending machines with separators. Some people try to sell us some devices that we don't believe on that. Put hydroalcoholic gel dispensers near vending machines. I think that this is an obligation from the customer, not our obligation. Thermal cameras of temperature in the machines. UV inside the machines, not proven it works. So in another way, the help of the different associations has been very important. In our case, the information provided by the Spanish Vending Association, ANEDA, and the European Vending Association, EVA, has been essential. In this way, there are some surveys from the European Vending Association and the Spanish Vending Association that help us to take some decisions. How will the recovery be? This is the question. Before commenting how the recovery curve will be in U, V, or L, we must first know how we have segmented our client portfolio. Some examples. Hospitals. I think that the activity will return to the normality in 2 or 3 months, but there will be teleassistance, so less presence of public in hospitals. I'm not sure about that, but could be. Universities, the activity will return, but perhaps with fewer face-to-face classes, so fewer students, but also it may not be profitable to open the cafeterias and bars, and students can only enjoy the vending service, hopefully. About industry, it depends. Automotive, difficult years. Food industry, good years. Places, if you have points of sales in airports, hotels, train stations, I think that will have a slower recovery. Call centers, I think that most of them teleworking. And here probably we will lose sales forever, just in teleworking. Depending on this segmentation, our recovery will be faster or slower. Aspect that will affect us negatively. Increase in unemployment, fewer workers in the workplace. Here in Spain, for example, there is talk of 25% of unemployment. In February was 15%. So here I have 10 points. It will be critical for 2 years maximum. So the conclusion, closing of companies that cannot continue to be open because of the crisis. Arrival of robotization in the industry. I'm not sure about that, but we must be prepared. The really problem is that robots don't drink coffee with milk. Teleworking, but probably less than 10% in our case. Reduction of working days in companies. Large companies will not return to the new normality until September here in Spain. So vending machines in these companies will be stopped. But there are aspects that will positively affect us. New consumers who didn't know vending service yet. There were some people that never consumed in a vending machine. We are more attractive in price. Cafeterias here in Spain have raised prices and we have not, but probably we must do. We will be always cheaper than cafeterias and consumers will appreciate that. Vending is a very safe option, as I say at the beginning. We are safer because we don't interact with people. Single-use packaging, but very important, sustainable packaging, like recyclable PET bottles and compostable paper cups for coffee. Also, there will be a natural selection. Some vending players probably will disappear, and there will be clients to attract. Less cake, but with fewer players. Probably it will success in 4-6 months. Fewer trips, more consumption in the offices, less in public vending. Possibly new industries will be created so as not to be so dependent on other countries. Curiously, here in Spain, we don't have, for example, face mask factories, and we depend on third countries for many strategic products. Normally, our principal supplier is China. This situation will lead to the recovery of an industry that has been lost over the years and that will be considered strategic. This will generate more employment. Attention about credit card payment because it's here to stay. Problems during the crisis, no coins to be able to drink coffee in vending. In a store, they promote the use of credit card. And it was the same in some countries around Europe, because I was talking with some colleagues and they explained it to me. And this didn't allow exchange to be able to pay at the vending machines. No coins in the pocket of the consumers. But after 2 months, it has already been solved in Spain. We will simplify our way of life. Fewer trips. I put my example. I took 4 planes every week before crisis. Now I make video conference. When the new normal returns, I will probably fly 2 times every 2 weeks. The rest I will do by video conference. I will not waste time on airplanes or trains. I will be less tired and I will work more than before and more efficiently. With this action, I will reduce expenses to my company. And the coffee consumption, I will do it in my company, not in the offices of my client. So I think that this kind of consumption will not be lost. From the information that I have been able to obtain from the different meetings with my European colleagues, the recovery forecast according to the most pessimistic operators is the following. It's the slide that you see on your left, on your left of the screen. It's a recovery between 5–10% monthly from May, but with a cap of minus 25% for at least until December 2021. I think it's really very pessimistic, but it depends on every competitor. Our scenario in Alliance Vending on your right side, it's something more positive. Take into account everything I have commented previously at the beginning of this presentation. I foresee a recovery of between 10–15% from May, with the forecast that in month of December 2020, it will be less than 10% or 12%. I foresee that in May of 2021, we will already be the same volume, more or less, than the year 2019. But as you know, it's very difficult to make forecasts at this time. And as a final reflection, I think that, unfortunately, more coronavirus will come, but we will be prepared, and most importantly, we will have experience and we will be more resistant. I'm hopeful at the end of this year, we will almost certainly have vaccine for COVID-19, and this will improve confidence and generate more consumption. Vending is still a good business. We generate cash every day and we sell food and drink to our customers at a very competitive price. The important thing will be knowing how to adapt to the new technologies, which should allow us to be more connected with our consumers and ensure that our business is sustainable over time, thanks to the savings in operating costs that will allow us to remain competitive and attractive in price, but always maintain the margin. My dream is to continue making plans as previous COVID. And that's all. Thank you all very much. And I remain at your disposal for the questions you want to ask me. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Xavi. Thank you. It's been a very interesting presentation. So at this moment, I think we can open the chat for the questions. So please, if you are interested or you want everybody to make any question to Xavi or to us, please feel free to do so. So just write down your question in the chat, and I will read it for Xavi to respond. I will ask you to please remain muted, otherwise it can be a bit messy. So instead of asking, by voice, just please write it down in the chat. So if anyone wants to put any question, just feel free. Xavi, just to start. Do you think, to what extent do you think home office will impact the vending sector?
Sorry?
To what extent do you think that the home office will impact the vending sector?
Teleworking.
Yes.
In my opinion, teleworking will affect a maximum of 10%. Some colleagues, I have now a survey from the European Vending Association that in 2 weeks will be on the website, and there are some people that are thinking about 20% of the sales will be lost because of teleworking. But I think that telework will decrease after the pandemic. I'm very optimistic, and I think that probably we'll have 5%, not much more. But what will really affect is the sales that take place in the afternoon, because probably there will be more family reconciliation at the office hours. In the office will probably, the timetable will be reduced. So probably we will lose the sales that take place until 4 p.m.
Mm-hmm. Okay, thank you. Here we have one question, Xavi. In your opinion, the trends you have showed in your presentation, do you think they are more in line with Europe or to other world?
Sorry? The trends for Europe or around the world?
Yes, if you think these trends are more like focused in Europe or worldwide.
It's focused in Europe. I'm terrible sorry, but I have some colleagues around the world, but I was in contact around Europe. So I'm talking about what's happening now in Europe. And you must know that 2 days ago, we had a video conference with the European Vending Association, and there are really some difference between the North and the South.
Mm-hmm. In this line, we have a question here of a colleague based in Mozambique. He's asking if you know about any kind of vending research about the sub-Saharan Africa at this moment.
No, I'm terrible sorry, but I have no idea. We have some research from European Vending Association, Spanish Vending Association, and Italian Vending Association, Confida.
Mm-hmm.
And also French Vending Association, NAPSA, are preparing something for the next weeks, and ABA from UK, they prepared something also, but I don't have the survey here.
Mm-hmm. Okay, thanks. We have now a question from Chile. They say, well, in Chile they are like 2 or 3 weeks behind us in terms of contagions, closing the businesses, everything like that. So, what would be your forecast on these South American countries that are like 2 or 3 weeks behind us?
Well, if you show the slide, I think it's with the curve of the, if it's possible. Well, I will explain our case, okay? In March, we start 14 March here in Spain, and our sales decrease 30%, so minus 30%. In April, our sales decrease 70%, okay? In May, our sales decrease 65%. And now what we hope is that we'll start go on to 50% for June. In July, probably we will be on minus 35%. Exactly. You have here our prevision. So we start the pandemic in March in the 14. Our situation was minus 30%. And if you are 2 weeks before us, just you can extrapolate these numbers. Okay? I think that in some countries, for example, when I was talking with my Italian colleagues, they said me that every week they get 2.5% more. Okay, so in 1 month, 10%, and they cross the fingers. But now the recuperation, it's much more, it's faster.
Okay, thanks. Similar question about North America. Here our colleague from Canada. He's asking, what do you think, or what could be the European perspectives focused on North America?
Well, first of all, I'm not a guru. I know some points of sales in the different states of United States. Well, it's different than Europe, because, for example, in the States, they have a lot of micro markets, okay? Vending is mass public vending. Here in Europe, public vending, it's now, they have a hard moment, okay? Because nobody wants to consume in public vending because of security. During 2-3 months. After that, we will recover the line. What will happen in the States with micro markets? it's the big questions, because the nice places, the nice points of sales, the biggest ones, sometimes big companies, they closure, they stop the sales in these points of sale because of the security. I think that there are secure points of sales, but the authorities sometimes, or the biggest companies, says to prefer to stop these points of sales. I don't know really why, but sometimes the personnel from PRL says that it's better to closure these points of sale. So it's are different markets. In the States are more micro markets, and I think that micro markets could be la recuperación, the recover will be slowly than vending.
Thank you. Another question here from Ivory Coast. Do you think that the actual crisis will impact the transit time of your products?
Which kind of products?
I think, well, the vending product. Maybe this is more a question to Laqtia. I'm not sure, Dimitri, if you mean the transit time of the products produced by Laqtia to get to the final client. Dimitri, if you can. Okay, I see your response. Okay, I think Dimitri, we can from Laqtia, we can respond to that question. Well, at this moment, we see that the shipping companies, they are, well, they're like issuing lower number of ships, not very significantly. So maybe it can impact in a few days more delay in getting the product on the ship. And of course, the transit of the ship, it will be the same. But yes, it is possible to expect a delay of a few days from the moment the production is finished to the moment it loads in the ship. I wouldn't see it like a very big issue. It would be just a matter of a few days, but yes, it's possible. What we've seen as well in this period is that since the health authorities here in Spain, they need to issue some papers and all that to make the papers for carrying and for loading the ships. Since the people, the public workers, so to say, of those local authorities, you know, they're like lower people in places. The places are some days, well, other days are open, but you know, lower people or fewer people are working. So we expect again a delay of a few days when it comes the moment to signing the papers. So a few days delay in signing the papers, plus a few days delay in the period of time between the production and the shipping. It will sum up a few days, yes, of delay. I wouldn't say it will be very significant, but yes, it can happen.
In this way, Alfonso, I think that one important issue is that because of we are a safe channel, we see that sometimes many people that normally goes to the cafeteria to drink the coffee now are going to the vending industry. So
yes, probably
not always, but for example, we have a customer that the sales were 400 coffees each month, that we are doing now the double. Why? Because many people that goes at the beginning to the cafeteria, now they keep more safe in the vending machine that goes to the bar with a lot of people, go to the bar with a mask. Here in Spain, it's an obligation to go to the bar with a mask. It's not friendly, you know? So they are more comfortable near our point of sale, our vending machines.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, Xavi. Dimitri was posting another question. If what can you tell us about the mobile bank? Or yeah, the mobile banking paying options for the vending machines?
It's really a good question, Dimitri. Well, as I said in my presentation, during the lockdown, we were pushing our app, you know, our mobile app. Why? Because I think that we need to push in new technologies. The new trend is to pay whatever they like, you know. Consumers, young generation wants to pay with the mobile, wants to pay with an app, wants to pay with the Apple Watch, and why not with our own app? We are developing that, and we are happy on this way. So I think that which will be the future of the payment systems. I think that coins will survive, bills of course, but the future is to pay with the credit card and loyalty systems. Loyalty systems physically, like stickers from your company, or with credit cards or with apps.
Okay, thanks, Xavi.
Just it's
Yes,
important when you do the forecast, you must include that it have a cost to have the vending machine, the connectivity of vending machine. In our case, is €1.8 every month per machine, and the commission of the bank if you pay with the credit card. That's the reason, because we are trying to push our loyalty system, because there is no commission, you know.
Okay, thanks, Xavi. More questions. Prices of the machines. Do you think they will keep the same cost after the hit of the virus, or you know, prices can change?
It's a good question. It depends of the producers. They will kill me if I say which is my opinion, no? But I put an example when I think that 1 month ago or 1 month and a half, all of us know the notice that in the States, the petrol was negative, you know. So they pay money if you went to the company to take the petrol for you. So could be, why not? It depends of the economy of these companies. It depends of that. If they need to sell all the production, they will lower the price. If not, they will maintain the prices.
Okay, okay. More questions here. In a question from Panama. What do you think? Well, again, this in Panama, they are like a few weeks behind us in terms of contagions and you know the curve. So they're asking, what do you think about the possibility to deliver products directly to home as a complementary activity to the vending industry?
I'm completely agree. We are working on that way through our app. And you must know that one of the biggest vending operators here in Europe, that is EBS, an Italian company, they start with this delivery system, and it was a success. And we need to be prepared. We are working on that way.
Okay, okay. More questions. Is the vending industry going toward contactless product selection, or is the manufacturer who will develop that? I guess this. This question has to do with, I guess, with the security in the machines.
First of all, Alfonso, you must know, all of you must know that vending is a secure channel. There is no constant that the virus could be in the vending machine. you know. So I know that there are some producers that are pushing, and it's licit, like Laqtia, for example, to do something with contactless or with app. I don't believe in this kind of products, because I think that if you follow the sanitary instructions, just wash your hands before to go to the vending machine, and after goes to the vending machine, it's enough. It's as I said previously, it's very important to understand where we are going to invest our money. We need to have a nice payback, you know. And in this kind of investments, I don't believe it don't add value to the consumer. But take it sure that during 2 or 3 weeks, a lot of big customers will ask about it to all of you, because it happens here in Spain with our biggest customers. But keep calm. I remember 3 weeks ago, one of our biggest customers asked about the possibility to put a panel between each vending machine. It's a customer that we have more than 100 vending machines. And we said, okay, if you pay it, no problem. But where is the value? Because if you put a panel between vending and vending machine, you need to clean every time that you go to the vending machine, and it's not. Keep calm about that.
Okay, we have here a proposal from Javier. He's saying that maybe Sebastian from Chile, one of our our colleague from Chile, that maybe he's interested in showing up his opinion and his experience on this. I don't know if Sebastian. Sebastian, not sure if it's working. Okay, in the meantime, while Sebastian tries to get on, I will pose you another question, Xavi. In Algeria, after the petrol crisis in Algeria, the government decreased dramatically the import activities and push only the local production with attractive support. How we can introduce the vending Laqtia business? Well, this is maybe a question more for Laqtia. Vending Laqtia business to Algeria in this situation. Well, I think from our point of view, we need to rely and to be confident on the quality of the product. I don't know exactly in Algeria. From as far as I know, there are some like import restrictions, which are sometimes a bit difficult to overcome. But I think that marketing very well that the product is the more quality product that you can find anywhere in Europe and probably anywhere in the world, that will probably make your own customers on the one hand making them more eager to accept the extra cost that this that the Laqtia option might have. And at the same time, we can work together to find out if there's any, interesting or any possible way to reduce this import cost. I don't know specifically for Algeria which are the restrictions. If the restrictions are for finally packed goods or are for any of our, because we normally see that the import tariffs are more strong on the milky products and not this strong on the chocolates or teas or coffee lattes or other products like this. So maybe one option is to create brand through those kind of products, and then once the brand is well established and it has its own reputation, and then introducing the milk at the price a bit higher price due to this import tariff. Of course, at the same time, it's our aim to help you with the most competitive cost or the most competitive product to help you on this area. So just to summary, just trying to to focus on those products that are more easy to import, to create brand, to show and promote the quality of the products, to again create brand. So I don't see any more questions now. Any more questions? Sebastián? I'm not sure if Sebastián, can you hear us? Sebastián? Okay. Sebastián, okay, he's listening, he can hear us, but we cannot hear you. Well, he's written in the chat his thoughts. Unfortunately, we cannot hear him. Nope. Oh, here. Now we can see you. At least he. We don't hear you, Sebastián. We can see you now, but we cannot hear you. Sebastián from Chile. He's down in Punta Arenas, in the very south of Chile. He's our partner, of course, in Chile. And we are not getting. No.
¿Me escuchan?
Yes. Yes, now we can hear you.
Okay. I was saying that here in Punta Arenas, in the southest place of Chile, here's almost under control. In the capital, Santiago is being hit badly, but here we are expecting that tourism will come back soon, and we will move forward on this. But I think I was listening carefully, and I think that technology, we should not wait for providers or machine like Bianchi or Necta. We should not wait for them to develop all the technology. I think that we should put a lot of thinking on technology by ourselves to integrate the technology to the vending machines, so we can upgrade faster and get the client ongoing with this. And I think that the producers, the machine producers, they will not go as faster as we can go together or by ourselves, but we need to invest a lot of time and money as well in technology, but developing the technology by ourselves, not waiting for the machines producer to get on it. That's my opinion.
Sebastian, I'm completely agree. And Alfonso, if you don't mind, could you put the slide number 13? Because I want to show some pictures to Sebastian, because in our group, well, we are working on that way since, well, We started it 6 years ago. In the slide number 13, you will see we are working.
Here, a ver, 1 second. There we go. Can you see it?
Yeah.
Yes.
You can see in the picture, there are not vending machines. As vending machines, it's like a store. But the heart of the store must be our own technology. For example, the device that you can see with a gray color, it's our black box. You know, we develop it for us. And this black box can be connected to to each vending machine, payment system, coin validator, whatever you like, you know, and we always get the same data. Why? Because if not, like Italian says, it's a casino. It's impossible to understand because nobody works with the same protocol. They say yes, but it's not true. Believe me, you know perfectly. It's completely false.
Yes.
So we work on that way. We have our own device. We work in the cloud, okay, and we have real time connected now 7,000 vending machines, and we have all the data. Now it's very difficult to manage the data. We have the data, you know, but what it's very easy to change prices online. It's very easy to return money if the vending machine was make a fake sale. You can return the money by app or directly to the screen of the machine, but it's not thanks to the vending machine producer. No, it's thanks to our technology. So I'm completely agree with you. We need to work on this way.
Yes. Well, in Chile, we have one more problem that there is this banking solution. Even if I bring that technology that you developed there, I bring it to Chile, I have this banking problem that not all the credit cards will work. I think there is a problem that we cannot solve yet, and it's a bit complicated. And meanwhile, that problem is alive. We cannot move forward by importing technology. All the you know, like for me, it would be so easy to talk to you and say, "Hey, I want that technology. Please let me buy it," and I put to work here. We need to start from zero, and that's the problem.
And I'm agree with you because we were fighting during 3 years with Spanish banks because we had the same situation. So that was the reason. This was the reason because we developed our own device, and you can see in the slide that we are working with Ingenico. Ingenico is around the world, but we needed to certify with Red Sea, that is a strange company here in Spain, that must be certified for them with the UC 285, this device, with our black box, to be more than 8 months waiting for the authorization and the certification. It has no sense, but it happens, and we must pay a lot of money. But now, since 3 years ago, we are working directly with the bank, and we only pay the commission of the bank, because if not, we start to play with some other players that say, okay, you must pay a fee from I don't know how many money, but you will have my solution, but you are like in a jail, you know. That's the reason, because we decide to develop our own system, but it's not easy. I'm completely agree with you. You must push, you must fight with the banks, because it's not interesting for them. When the competitors start to come in, then they open their mind and start to provide you new solutions. What happened in Spain 4 or 5 years ago, was that the European authorities opened the market, you know, and then the Spanish market, that was the Spanish company that it's called Red Seas, start to have competitors that they didn't understand what were competitors for them, you know, and then they start to push to negotiate with us and some different players. But 4 or 5 years ago, it was impossible to try to negotiate with them. So keep calm, and probably in 1-2 years you will negotiate directly with the banks. If you want some information, not our device, but yes, about which problems we had and how are we working, you can contact with Alfonso. And for me, it's a pleasure. And I think that you can speak in Spanish. English, it's really very difficult for me. So we will understand for sure, just to explain how we are working.
Perfect. I have just one more question. What do you think about converting like vending with payment solutions into micro markets available for the consumers to buy just not a snack and drinks, but all kind of food and not food, like electronic, everything you can find in a supermarket, you can find it in vending machines with technology, 24 hours available. What do you think about that kind of business? Is an opportunity for the vending operators to integrate into some kind of 24 hours micro markets?
I'm completely agree. It's a good opportunity. We are pushing on that way. We start to visit some points of sale in the States, in Las Vegas, in Chicago, some years ago, and we discover a new world. You know, the biggest places, they have a micro market. Now what we are developing here in Europe, because it's quite different, I don't know the Chile market, but it's to analyze what the consumer wants, what the consumer likes. But what we are doing here in Spain, there are two different ways. The micro market, but it's really very similar than the micro market in the States, with big furnitures. It's like a supermarket, but unattended, okay? We always talk about micro markets in safety spaces, you know, in offices, not in public sites, only in office. And on that way, what we are pushing, because there are some companies that are less than 50 employees, it's in something new that in the States started 2 years ago, but it's called nano markets. And our strategy is to work with the app. You know, you go to the coffee vending machine, a small one, you just show a QR code, you start the coffee selection, okay? The money is in the cloud. And if you want to have, I don't know, one snack, one Coke, you just put a fridge, less than 300 euros or $400, you know? And that's all. You scan the barcode, you pay, and that's all. So it's a nano market. You don't need to invest a lot of money. But we're pushing on that way.
Good. Yes. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, a few more questions here. Lionel from Pabalco. He's talking about the importance of the contactless, cashless, and the telemetry, because he's been doing that for lots of years in this Andes and Central America region. Javier, what do you think that I think we've talked about this in the presentation, but advantages the telemetry, getting to know the data from your clients. Do you think this is very important, right?
Right. I think that to get the data, it's the future. It's very, 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 very important. Sometimes all the people, when they talk about telemetry, they are only thinking to reduce cost of the cost of the operations. And I agree with that. But I think that the real profit of the telemetry, it's the opportunity to understand in real time what's happening with your stores, with your automatic stores. Because at the end, I think that it's very important to understand what our customer likes. And now, as all the survive said, a customer wants something personalized. You know, they want personalized service products. So if you have the data and you know the consumer, then they drink the coffee. Which kind of drink of coffee he prefer? You can do promotions. You can invite him in their birthday. You can get in touch, and it's the best way to have loyalty with him. And if you don't want to fight with your competitors with price, with lower price, you must push on that way. So for us, it's very important. As I said previous, in our case, in less than 3 years, we will have 14,000 freestanding vending machines completely connected.
Okay, very, very, very interesting. One more question here from Mexico. Is there any mobile app that consumers could use for mapping different types of vending machines around them?
Yes, it could be. It could be.
Do you know any of them? Because this app is in order to that what can you as an operator offer a solution to customers to minimize the time spent in looking for some specific products or satisfy their needs of consumption?
Okay, we are in this way. What we are going to do is, when we have all the data of this customer, we will recommend which product we know that he likes. So if, for example, Nestlé comes to us and says, we have a new chocolate bar, and we go to the CRM, we have a look, well, big data will do it, because if not, it's impossible. You must know that in our case, we manage 90 million services each year. So it's impossible to analyze it, okay? But we go to the big data and we ask, how many people like this kind of chocolate bars? Okay, appears a new chocolate bar. We go directly through the app, okay, to our consumer, or through the loyalty system, because we have two different loyalty systems, the app and one sticker or one sticker. And we say, okay, we have this new chocolate bar. Where we earn money? In two ways. First one, you can go to the supplier, to Nestlé, and say, okay, I'm going to push in the market your new product. And if you want to do that, you must pay, I don't know, 2,000 euros, 20,000 euros. Why not? And you will know who will eat this new product. And you can pay me with product for free also, okay? And in another way, our consumer will be really very happy, because he will be the first to know this new product. So we will increase the sales and we will increase the margin because of this space, or this come back from like an advertisement from our supplier. I don't know if I explain it very well, because in English it's very difficult for me.
No, I think we have understand.
If not, please put it in the
chat,
and Alfonso, you can translate.
Yeah, of course. If someone has any doubt, we are still here in the chat, So please write as many questions as you feel like. One more question. This one's very interesting. What do you think about the idea that we transform the vending machine into a delivery machine for internet or online selling products? For example, if you buy a mobile phone in the internet, you get a notification in about a few hours later that you can pick up your phone in the whatever it is, the vending machine. So the vending machine becomes some sort of delivery company, so to say. And of course, how would this be paid in the vending machine when you get and pick up the phone, or before via internet and then just the vending machine? It will need to somehow identify you to give you the phone.
Always before.
Always before.
Always before.
Always
For
before.
sure. We are vending operators. Yeah, it's a good question. We are a specialist in food and beverage, so open our mind to these new products. Yeah, we are working on that way, but I think that could be very interesting to deliver products inside the companies through our vending machine.
Exactly.
But there are two kind of cases. First one, if you want to personalize your best consumers, not customer, consumers. You can, for example, have 5 espirals in the snack vending machine reserved for your special accounts. So they want a salad with, I don't know, with fruit and blah, blah, blah. You can order by your app, and then you will receive a QR code. You can go to the vending machine, and you need 1 day. Okay, our refiler will go and will put the product that you order with the app in spiral number 25, and when you show your QR code in the reader, will download the product that you ordered previously 1 day before. Okay, this is what we don't have this solution, but we are working. Our department is working on that solution. I think that it's a good idea. But in the other way, to sell a mobile phone, I think that there are some articles that it's very difficult to sell through a vending machine. It's very difficult. I think that articles that the price is higher than €10 or $10 will be difficult to sell it through the vending machine. We can have one vending machine, but just to do an advertisement, all of you for sure knows that there are a vending machine that sell cars.
I think, Xavi, the question was as well focused on, I think, as far as I understood the question, like if the vending machine could, become some sort of like a delivery company. So instead of having one person going to your home to give you the phone physically to your home, that if the Apple or Samsung could deliver phones to vending machines, and through those vending machines the final customer could receive. Not sure if I am explaining.
No, you explain very well. But I think that there is a company that probably that it's called Amazon, that do these operations much better than us. So invest in this kind of development. It has no sense, in my opinion, because you can do that through Amazon around the world, or here in Spain, Correos, or there are a lot of solutions. So in my opinion, it's not a good idea.
Okay, thanks. At this moment, not sure if we have more questions. Well, I think there's one question above all, which is that if there are lower number of employees in the companies, how could the vending sustain in the future?
I think that the answer it's really easy to respond, but I will try. What we are doing, for example, we start to fight with all of our customers. You must know that we are fighting now. Well, we start to fight 2 months ago with more than 1,000 customers that we are paying commissions to give service for them. Here in Spain, it's I don't know why, but it's usual, okay? And we were paying commissions, fixed commissions, okay? For this point of sale, I will pay you 500 euros. Now we are changing and we only pay percentage commissions, okay? Because if not, if you have a lockdown, there are some customers that they are not selling, the vending machines are not selling, and you must pay the fee. So it has sense. And in other way, I think that if, unfortunately, in a point of sale where when you started, you had 1,000 sales of coffee, and now you will have 500 sales of coffee, you will reduce the number of vending machines, and you must increase the price, because at the end, the cost of the service will be the same. So probably we will need to increase the price, and that's all. It's not easy, I know, because it's hard to discuss with the customers, but it's what we need to do. And I don't know in the rest of the countries, because since the pandemic, I'm not traveling. But you must know that all the cafeterias here in Spain are increasing the prices. It has sense. I think, I know that it's not nice, but it's what you need to do.
Okay, so yeah, basically, yeah, I think it's true.
I think too. Yeah.
Okay, no more questions up to now. Anybody? Okay. So I think we can conclude this first Laqtia webinar. Thank you very much, Javier, for your presentation. It's been very clear, absolutely deep. So you've talked about lots of things. I think very interesting for the vending operators. Thank you all you guys for joining our webinar. It's been a pleasure to have you all. And if you have any further question, last minute, last 30 seconds. Okay. So thank you all guys.
Thanks for the opportunity and all the best. Keep safe.
Thank you.